Skillet Sports presents...
Oh, G-Sizzle, it's too cold outside, but it's hot in here. It's time for the sizzle. What's up, baby?
It's always hot in here. You know, this is a brand new day. This is inauguration day, and we're going to do it big. We're going to do it presidential. We're going to talk about the Bears. Wait, that's not presidential. But it doesn't matter. We're going to do it anyway. Let's get ready to start the show.
You're listening to The Sizzle, the talk of the 219, the hottest sports talk in the region, on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle here in the building. And as you already know, we are the hottest sports talk in the region. Look, man, we got a lot to talk about in a little time. We don't have a lot of time. We got a little time. We got a lot to talk about. So let's get to it. The Chicago Bears. They're looking for love in all the wrong places.
In all the wrong places.
Looking for nub. Okay. So, all right. I wanted to get your reaction first. I wanted to do it on camera. But since we're here, let's just do it right now.
Yeah.
I told you last episode, I think I figured out what's going on. And I think I got a good hold on how this thing is going with the Bears.
Okay.
And I think I've really got it. I believe. I don't even believe.
You broke in the code. You figured it out. You've got the cipher.
I've broken the code.
You've got the cipher figured out now. We know what to do with the Bears.
Well, George McCaskey was on the Danny Parkins show on 670 The Score.
Oh, good show.
And he gave a detailed look into what the Bears are doing and what they're thinking. So if you don't mind for a second, I want to play that for you so that you can hear the words of the chairman himself.
The way we do it is the president and CEO and the chairman make those determinations in consultation with ownership and the board of directors.
Would you ever consider a president of football operations, or at least even a consultant who has a football background, to help you with that, as opposed to the buck stopping with you and Ted, who are not quote unquote football people?
Well, as far as the consultant, I mean, we had that, which resulted in the hiring of Ryan. We had Ernie Accorsi. The guy's got Hall of Fame credentials, been successful with two teams, and did a great job, first of all, establishing credibility for us in the interview room, and secondly, guiding us through the process and helping with the selection. I've heard a lot about, you need a quote-unquote football guy, a czar, a president of football operations, whatever. In our structure, the football guy is the general manager. And even if you had a president of football operations, that person at some point would have to be reporting to what you described, Danny, as a non-football person. So to me, it's not so much the structure as it is the people. We think we've got the right people. We understand not everybody agrees with that, but we think we do.
Okay, Jay. So here we are. Everybody doesn't agree with it. They have the right people. So here's the thing. The Bears structure is set up so that they're happy with it. George McCaskey, Ted Phillips, they're happy with what they've got. And so all that wonderful work we did earlier in talking about a football czar and how you put it together and how a football person would come in to align everything, we found out from the chairman's mouth that his football guy is Ryan Pace. And he believes that he is the smartest person to make all football decisions for the Bears.
This is the reason why the Bears are in the position where they are right now. First thing, Mr. McCaskey needs to be out of any decisions whatsoever dealing with the Chicago Bears. He needs to be the owner, go sit in the box, eat some popcorn, sushi, chocolate-covered pretzels, whatever. And you know what else they got over there is really good? They got some cheesecake. The lady comes around on the cart at Soldiers Field They got the cheesecake, and the carrot cake is fantastic. I just wanted to let you know. But anyway, I digress. He needs to go sit down and go eat a snickerdoodle and watch the football game. That's what he needs to do. He needs to put a person who's in charge of football operations only, and the buck stops there. They don't know what they're doing over there, and that's why they're in the same situation. Look, you got Nagy back. You got Pace back. Looks like you're going to have Trubisky back, but your defensive line coach is adios and out of there. He's out of there. He's going to the Chargers. You got your running backs coach. He's out of there. He's running for the hills. You got your passing coordinator. He's out of there. He's running for the hills. They're both going to the Falcons. What does that tell you when your underlings start taking off? That look, your defensive line coach has been picked to be the Chargers defensive coordinator. Did you give him a shot to interview for the defensive coordinator position for the Chicago Bears after Chuck Pagano left? Did Joe Czar of football knowledge, did he do that? No. Another head coach in the league snapped him up immediately. That means, didn't this same defensive line coach, let's look at this defensive line that he's helped create over the last few years. Any of those guys play really well for you? Look at Bilal Nichols and all these other guys who you knew nothing about, and now all of a sudden they played big-time minutes for the Chicago Bears. But that guy's not good enough for you to be even considered as your defensive coordinator. Look what he did with your defensive line. This is what the problem is with the Bears. This is the absolute problem with the Bears, and that interview right there shows they have an owner that's not dedicated to winning football championships.
Well, they're dedicated to winning football money. And you see with Ted Phillips, you see with George McCaskey, they have a belief. And it's funny, it ties into, and I guess they all do talk to each other and make some kind of triumphant.
Sure they do.
This sounds just like the Bulls talk last season.
It's Garpax. It's Garpax all over again.
Yeah, it's that same privilege talk that puts you in there. We know better than you know because we're the guys who do it.
We're buddies and pals. We're buddies and pals and friends, and we're going to go eat the salmon roll down at the country club. That's what we're getting ready to go do.
And the sad part is, to your point, when your assistant coaches start to vacate, they see their handwriting on the wall. Because even though we don't know the contract lengths for Nagy and for Pace, there's a underlying thought that even in a bad situation next season, they both could be fired and gone. So there's no stability. There's no promise for tomorrow. So if you're an assistant coach and somebody says, "Hey, I need you on my staff. I'll be here for the next 2 or 3 seasons," I'm gone.
Here's the thing. We know this. Good coaching staffs, usually when the head coach goes, he brings his coaching staff with him.
Right.
They're linked arm in arm. We've seen it throughout the college ranks, throughout the pros. They go and they have 3 or 4 guys that they bring with them because they understand their system. They're used to seeing their face inside the locker room. They're used to seeing their face inside the coaching room, and they feel safe with them that they're going to do what needs to be done. The under coaches for the Bears are flying the coop. That means Matt Nagy has not got their loyalty like he should have. Look, when you get the running backs coach leaving up out of there, running back coaches are just happy to have a job. They're just happy to have a job. Literally.
True.
I mean, what running backs coach have you heard been the running backs coach is going to be next up for the next head coaching job somewhere? No.
Right. Even with Deuce Staley was with the Eagles, and he might still be. Wasn't he like the linebackers coach?
Yeah.
It was something ridiculous.
It makes no sense.
He wasn't the running backs coach.
Right. So what I'm saying is that you got guys in there that are coaching these positions like that. They're happy to have a job in the NFL. And now you got these guys bailing, running up out of here because they see the nonsense up here. That whole interview right there, all of the fans of the beloved should have just poured the Kool-Aid out the glasses. That's what they should have did right now. Start taking off the jerseys. And I'm telling you right now, Green Bay would probably let you come up and jump on the bandwagon. It's only 90 miles away. You can just drive up there. Well, maybe 120. But you know what I'm talking about. You can get to Wisconsin in an hour and a half.
It just seems like it's all perfunctory because it seems as though this whole thing is getting ready to go under. And there are people who are trying to jump ship now while they're still level on water.
Because they see what's about to happen. Because this whole thing is ridiculous because they're not going to bring in the offensive minds that you need other than Matt Nagy. They're not going to bring those guys in here that's going to turn this football team around. And now you lost your defensive line coach. So what happens now to these defensive linemen that he has helped produce? Are there any contracts getting ready to come up pretty soon? Anybody going to maybe look like, wouldn't somebody else like to have a Bilal Nichols on their defensive line? Do you don't think somebody out there is not going to be trying to trade and get these guys? You might see a mass exodus from the defense right now. A mass exodus. There might be some trades that are demanded.
Well, you know what? I've got a way to fix that.
How's that?
I do.
Oh.
I think I know someone who could come in and fix your whole defense.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Boy, are you ready for Samurai Iron Mike Singletary? The hardest hitting, the hardest looking, the hardest playing mofo in the history of the sport, baby. Let me tell you something. If you're talking about one man, it's the man we need.
No. You don't want me to go much further. Go right ahead. Ask the question.
I'm going to ask the question, Jay. Is Mike Singletary ready for the defensive coordinator position for your Chicago Bears?
First, let me get this on record. Okay? Let me get this on record.
Okay.
I love Mike Singletary.
We all do.
I love Mike Singletary the same way Gail says he loved Brian Piccolo. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
I love me some Mike Singletary. Samurai Mike breaking helmets with the big eyes in the middle of the defense, number 50, all over the place, playing linebacker for the Chicago Bears. I love me some Mike Singletary. Don't get me wrong. But this is the type of nonsense that the Chicago Bears, the shenanigans that they pull. Mike Singletary has not been part of an NFL coaching program since 2016. There is nobody out there clamoring to get Mike Singletary their defensive coordinator position. There's nobody out there clamoring to get Mike Singletary in to coach their linebackers. He did a horrendous job when he was coaching the 49ers. Because Samurai Mike has the same problem Michael Jordan has. He thinks...
Are you getting ready to speak blasphemy?
Look, here's the problem, right? We're just now starting to see that Michael Jordan run basketball franchise, actually started to try to turn the corner a little bit. And a lot of that has to do because he got LaMelo Ball down there, a few other ball players down there that are playing pretty well right now. Here's the problem with the great ones. And Mike Singletary is one of the great ones, all right?
This is getting ready to be really bad. I can see this coming.
Look, what they can do naturally is what other people have to do supernaturally. And they don't understand why you can't jump over a building like they can. Why you can't fly around as fast as a speeding bullet. Why can't you lift the world on your shoulders? Because they don't understand why you can't play like them. That's the same problem. Michael Jordan didn't understand why everybody on his team just wasn't an assassin. that just wasn't a killer. He didn't understand that. And so everybody on his ball club, and he could not understand. That's why you saw that Charlotte Hornets team look horrible for years. Mike Singletary is like, you can't play like me? Where I'm out here cracking people's helmets? When is the last linebacker you heard breaking helmets?
Why are you asking me things of this nature?
You
I
haven't.
don't even think you can break a helmet anymore.
You haven't heard anybody breaking helmets.
No.
So Mike Singletary is out breaking helmets, and now he thinks you're supposed to be able to break helmets too. It don't work like that. It just doesn't work. That's why these guys don't make it. You know who the great coaches are? Guys are the guys who play in the USFL. The guys like the guys who are the third string quarterbacks. The guys who are the catchers, the third string catchers in baseball. Those are the guys that make good coaches. Why? Because they have to know and understand the game, the nuances of the game, to even be considered to be a professional. Some guys, when they come out the womb, they are going to be professional football players. We all know guys who've made it into the pros, and you knew that kid that was around you at 10, 11, and 12 years old, that guy was going to the NFL, or that guy was going to the NBA. You knew it from the time they were 10. Because they just had that natural ability. They were faster, stronger, quicker, meaner than everybody else around them. And nobody wanted to play with them. They always had to play with the older kids. But these other kids, like Chuck Cecil's a prime example. A walk-on at the University of Arizona. He was an academic. He turned himself into an academic All-American. Chuck Cecil, when he played for the Packers, was and has become one of the most feared hitters in football all time. I saw Chuck Cecil personally when he was 165 pounds. And he'd run into you and fall down. But he worked his way into being who he is. And Chuck Cecil is a legend. Why is he a legend? Because he didn't come in with everything. He didn't come in with the great speed and size and all that. He had to work himself. He had to use his mind and launch himself like a missile into people. Right now, if Chuck Cecil played in this NFL right now, he'd be thrown out at the coin toss. That's how hard he was hitting people on a regular. They had a thing about him saying that he was too violent for the NFL. But this is what a walk-on who becomes an All-American. This is what these guys do. Not the guys who come in and from the womb, they're already going to the pros. This is the problem with Mike Singletary. That's my first point on that. This is my second point, okay?
There are more?
They're all. Here's my second point. Why is the Chicago Bears doing their David Blaine impersonation? Why are they swallowing a piece of string and pulling a frog out of their eyeball right now? Look, there is no reason whatsoever that Mike Singletary's name should come up for the defensive coordinator position for the Chicago Bears. At most, he should be the defensive ambassador for the Chicago Bears. He should be able to come down and give pep talks, rally speeches. He should be able to come down and show the linebackers how to read the triangle so they know when a guard is pulling. That's what you bring Mike Singletary in, because he wants to be part of football again. But you do not give a guy who has not been in the league for nearly 5 years your defensive coordinator position when nobody else has asking for him to be a defensive coordinator. This is the shenanigans, the wool that they're pulling over the fans of the beloved. The McCaskies should stop treating people like they are Bozo the Clown. This is what they need to stop doing. Stop treating your fan base like they're stupid. We are not stupid out here. We understand what you're doing. There are some people who are going to go, oh, hey, Mike Singletary's coming back. But most of us go, why is Mike Singletary coming to the Bears? He can't help the Bears win football games. And look, make him the motivational czar, right? Bring him in like that. Put him on the sidelines. Make him the linebackers coach, the running backs coach. Your running backs coach is leaving anyway. Anything other than the defensive coordinator, that's what you do. I'll save my third point for later on.
Well, I mean, you've done such a great job of just blasting everything. I mean, you might as well just go ahead to your third point, because I think we had this problem before with Chico and Lovey. We had ego problems. You let probably the best defensive coordinator you have walk out the building.
Oh, without doubt.
And being a former Bear, I know that they have this love for former Bears, but it's funny because you don't ask Jimbo Covert, you don't ask any of the old guys, you don't even ask any of the newer old guys, anybody who's been around, like, hey, you want to be the offensive line coordinator? You want to be Jim Miller, probably one of the better quarterback people in the area. He knows quarterback.
I would like to see Jim Miller, head of their passing czar, team general, colonel, whatever they want to call him. Bring him around. He understands the passing game. He's a Chicago Bear. It's
Olin Kreutz is sitting there. You need offensive line help. You got Olin Kreutz. You've got Jim Miller. You've got guys who are broadcasting right now.
Right, who want to be involved.
Be better general manager, who would love to be involved.
Right.
You've never involved any, I don't know, Richard Dent was coaching for a little while and didn't seem to do a poor job. Did a fairly good job, but McMahon, Michaels, these men have never gotten a shot. Even you could take whoever you want.
Right.
You could go and get what was the running back? Good grief, I can't even think now.
Rashawn Salam.
Go and get. Wait, I don't think you can get Rashawn Salam.
I don't think so either. Sorry, R.I.P.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you could get Curtis Enos. I mean, have you seen him lately?
Yeah.
Go find him. You could go and find. Hey, I got somebody. I know who you could go and get. Go get Thomas Jones for your running back position.
Yeah.
They be cut up and they be swole and ready to go. That's what you do.
But you know what the Bears gonna go do now?
What are they gonna do, Jay?
They're going down to the Dallas Cowboys and trying to pull their DC here. How great, how prolific was that Dallas Cowboys defense?
Well, you don't look at that. You move past that because you're saying to yourself, they just had an off year.
This is the nonsense. This is the absolute nonsense that the Bears do. And this is what happens when you don't have a football guy at the head of your organization.
I wonder if the other GMs and, well, not GMs, but owners and Ernie Accorsi's telling them Mike Singletary would be great for you.
Of course they are. You know what would be great for your fan base? Why don't you go back and get one of your throwbacks and put him in there? Maybe at the deep, you know what? They'll sell tickets. And they went, oh, yeah, it probably would. We need some people. They would love to see. They would love to see the Samurai Mike back. Might as well go get Mike Ditka. Might as well go. You know what I'm saying? At least Mike Ditka would be the head coach. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. And this is the sad part of being one of so many Chicago Bears fans. Look, the Bears fans are so great that we have a standing Saturday Night Live skit devoted to the Chicago Bears.
For the last 30 years?
30 every year that skit pops up. They pull out George Wendt and they slap them out there, and they go do the super fans every year, and they roll them back out there every year with the big bratwurst out there, the guy having 14 heart attacks. But they know these are the fans, these are the beloved's fans, and to treat the monsters of the Midway like this, to go out here and not change any of these people who are actually making these decisions, and the underlings are fleeing the coop. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win.
Jay, I think it's time for you to give your third and final point, just because I don't even know how much longer I can do a show on this. This is ass of 9, 10, 12. This is ass of 15. This is getting ready to be ass of 20. And I want to have fun in 2021. So, and we have other things to talk about.
Here.
We have to talk about an inauguration. We have to talk about the shades of purple that all the lovely first ladies were wearing.
Well, they did. They were wearing it.
You know, my question is now with the first ladies. So, does Mr. Kamala Harris, is he a part of the first ladies group now? Or
Hey, look, let me look. Hats off to pimping, okay? Hats off to pimping. He pulled the baddest chick. He pulled the baddest chick above 50.
Yes, sir.
He pulled the baddest chick above 50.
I double salute you. And if he can bake and can make a mean drink,
come on,
he's in there. He's in the first ladies club.
I mean, look, Melania is model pretty, right? But she cannot compete.
Does she even get in the first ladies club?
Oh, Melania? Oh yeah, she's first lady. Of course she was.
She is. But do you think they invite her out for scones and tea?
No. We saw. Well, I know we're going to talk about the inauguration here in a minute, but we'll probably jump ahead. But you see the three former presidents were all standing together. Did you see that? Did you see it when they were all standing together with the trench coats on? Mm-hmm. Man, you talking about people who can call in airstrikes? Dude, that was a lot. That was a lot of power standing there, man. Between Barack Obama,
a lot of power.
The Bush and Clinton standing there together, all locked arm in arm, talking about we got your back, Joe, and Kamala.
And they just don't bring around Jimmy Carter, but he's still out there.
Jimmy Carter's still building houses at 95 years old. He's still out there.
To President Carter.
You know
Salute to you, sir. Salute to you.
The first rock and roll president. You know, him and Creedence Clearwater Revival. He was. I saw the little documentary. He had rock and roll going on. That's how he got to be president. But then Jimmy Ray Gun, Ronnie Ray Gun came in. It was like, you gonna
Ronnie two pistols.
You gonna let them hostages go? We're gonna hang on them right to the inauguration. All right, but I'm telling you, at 12:02, it's gonna be on and cracking. Oh, we're gonna let them go here, all 53 of them. That's how that was.
So, do you have a last point before we end this Bulls shamrockery?
Well, it's the Bears shamrockery, but that's neither here nor there.
I'm sorry. Because oh man, we had a really good show on the Bulls. And Hutch is coming back and Saddle's coming back.
And they're going to be ninth place. It's going to be great. They're just going to miss the playoffs. Anyway. No, not good. I shouldn't have did that. I'm sorry. Look, and here's my third point. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you hear any clamoring for the top line coaches wanting to come to the Bears? Because let's ask a question. Did Mike Singletary call them, or did they call Mike Singletary? because they needed this splash. Because we haven't heard any big names trying to come to the Bears. We haven't heard any, not one. Not one big-time coordinator, not one that they tried to steal from one of these other teams that had the number 4 or 5 defense in the league, that they're going to pay top dollar, that could possibly be the head coach in a few years. They didn't bring that guy in here. That guy that we haven't heard any of those guys with credentials like that. And that's my third and final point with the Bears. They are getting offshoots right now. Guys who can coach in the NFL but have not coached at the highest level and won championships or had their defenses up at the highest level. This is what the problem is. You're not getting the type flight talent who will bring in their coaching staffs. Because maybe they got passed over like our defensive line coach, who's now going to be the defensive coach for the Chargers, the DC for the Chargers. Maybe they got passed over for a coordinating position there or the head coaching position. Go grab somebody's assistant head coach and bring them in, either the defensive coordinator, and bring them in as a defense coordinator here. Pay him top dollar. Are the Bears going to do that? No. And that's why, that's why we get these. Okay. And that's why they go get Mike. Love you, Mike. I love to talk to Mike Singletary. Love him. But he ain't been involved in the game since 2016. And that's my third point. Why are you trying to pull the wool over our eyes? We can see clearly now.
Well, maybe we can, but somebody cannot. Let me ask you, would you come to the Bears as the defensive coordinator with everything that you've seen and everything that's going on?
And there it is. Not with this brain trust up there. Not with this, hey, we're going to sit around and, hey, guys, hey, do you cut the crust off your peanut butter and jelly sandwich like I do mine? That's the conversation they're having. I don't want no crust on mine. No. Okay, that's a little really dangerously extra crunchy or creamy. Oh, that's conversation they're having. That's good. Mike Singletary is probably going to go in there and just start running around Hallis Hall and just start tackling people. Because he says, I can't do this. I need winners. He just hit the button. Hit the Mike Singletary.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
That's what
I want winners.
That's
I
what
want people that want to win.
He's running around Hallis Hall right now, screaming, I can't play with that. Get Matt Nagy out of here. Who's this McCaskey? Go get.
He said, I don't even remember him. Which one is he?
Go get Mama McCaskey down here. At least
Virginia.
At least Virginia had us winning in '85.
I can't do it.
At least she probably should have been talking about who? Mike's coming back? He's coming over for dinner? Coach!
Oh.
She probably right now, if she could get up out that chair, she'd just be smacking people upside the head. Just sad. That's my third point. Who's coming? Nobody. Nobody wants to come here.
Yeah, it's no help, bro.
It's cold. It's cold.
It's no help.
It's cold and lonely on the lakefront.
When it's cold outside.
In the spaceship. In the spaceship.
Who is your defensive coordinator?
Number four. Okay, one more.
Oh, okay.
Number 4.
Go ahead.
Can the Department of Parks and Recreation for Chicago, can we please fix this turf over here at Soldiers Field? Why every year does a turf come flying up in clumps like you got 75 golfers out there with a pitching wedge just taking divots everywhere? Why? Mm-hmm. You got the Sodfather right down the street. You got the Sodfather right over there at Guaranteed Rate Field. That field looks great every time the White Sox go out there. And y'all come out here with this not clumps of stuff. It's Players say they don't want to even go play in Chicago because they know they're going to might jack a knee up or an ankle running around on that garbage field we got going on out there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we fix that? Maybe if you would fix the field and make a little faster surface, then maybe your wide receivers would get some separation. Maybe.
You are just so damn
Have you seen
disrespectful today.
Have you seen that field lately? I got my voice back now. Now I can start talking. See, y'all have been missing me. When I can come with a full sentence before I I'm able to get through it a little bit now. Y'all in trouble. I got all types of stuff in my head I couldn't get out. I was gonna start doing sign language. start doing like this.
Okay. Now I know somebody's gonna be really upset once I've said this.
What's that?
But I'm almost sure the person today who was doing sign language, I think she was making that up as she was going.
Dude, did you see some years ago, was it Barack Obama, I think when he was in Africa or something like that, and the dude was doing sign language and it literally looked like he was breakdancing. Like, he looked like Shabba-Doo, rest in peace, but he looked like Shabba-Doo out there breaking down. He was like... Yeah, I'm almost sure that was. Yeah, I'm almost sure that wasn't that. But you know what it is? See, I think we're seeing the slang version. It's like the ebonics of sign language now. You know, because beforehand they were just really breaking down, spelling all the words, and now they got motions for words now. So now you're starting to see the slang. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like the hip hop version of
Okay. See, now I've got to stop you because I'm going to get an angry tweet and text from my homeboy who is a professor of linguistic studies. No. And I'm going to have to hear his mouth and my partner who is over the library department he was at IU. I think he's at Purdue now.
Uh-huh.
Oh, because, we had this big argument for years that this is not Ebonics.
It's not
Ebonics is the ebony study of language, not a shortened version, not colloquialisms, not, a quick quo pro to speaking. So, Tavis, I don't want to hear your mouth because I know it's coming like, hey, bruh, why didn't you inform the people what Ebonics is and how it works in our community?
Ebonics is people who have not been taught how to speak the King's English. That's what it is. And
please,
look,
Afro studies teachers and directors, funnel all of your hate to Jay Sizzle because obviously he did not take Dr. Blackshire's course. I'm not a party to this foolishness.
Let's get some understanding on this. All right.
Nope. Okay. You're gonna get some understanding in a few more minutes.
No, but you gotta break it down now. Look, okay.
Nope.
You can't go into speaking Ebonics, going out here trying to get a job to other people who don't speak Ebonics is like trying to go play football in a baseball uniform.
Okay, well, what is it? See, now we're going to get into this discussion. You can't start talking about. There is no Ebonics. Ebonics is the study of Geechee and Gullah, the way it was spoken, the way it was interpreted.
Let's use the term as the lay people use it. We don't know all the fancy terms.
Okay, well, the lay people are stupid.
Mr. Degree,
the lay people are just like George McCaskey.
No, he's got money. The lay people broke.
Hey, just because you got money doesn't make you smart.
It makes you smart.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Because obviously, if you had money, you would figure out there is no way, unless it's a 1985 Bears reunion, any of those damn Bears should be coaching anything right now.
No.
This is even more ridiculous than thinking that you were going to get Lovie Smith back and maybe he should get an interview. How'd that work in Illinois? How'd that work?
He just couldn't recruit. He couldn't recruit.
Why? Why couldn't he recruit?
Hey, for whatever reason. Well, okay, let's take a look now. Deion Sanders is pulling in 4-star recruits down at JSU.
Deion Sanders went and got his own son.
Yeah, well, okay, because he could do that. So the question is, right, and he's been dragging some decent recruits down there for HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how much hay these guys will make at a D1 program. You know what I'm saying? But they look like he's got guys coming down there that HBCUs have not been able to get. Why? Because he can win the living room. And he's got a really good staff put together to tell guys, hey, you could possibly get the right coach that you need to get to the NFL. Lovie Smith, guys want to come to your program because you've proven that you've been able to get guys to the NFL. You have to bring quality position coaches in that can get guys to the NFL. Because all these guys, every guy that comes in.
Who did he get to the NFL?
Who? What do you mean?
Who did he get to the NFL?
Who, Lovie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think anybody.
No, you don't know because they name the last Illinois player that you know outside of Simeon Rice that went to the league that made some noise.
Oh. Off the top of my head, no. I'd have to go to the Bozo Pewter and see.
I bet you there are more people playing from Northwestern that make noise.
Oh, right now, yeah,
Illinois.
I bet you.
Probably even DePaul. And I don't even think they have a football
do they have a football team? University of Illinois? You want to play there?
No. Chicago State players would make more noise in the NFL.
Got Red Grange.
I can't. I'm not going to do it with you. I'm not going to do this foolishness with you because you know what?
Yeah.
This whole Mike Singletary foolishness has led us down the rabbit hole of ridiculousness. And I was planning to have a full discussion on the varieties and the ways that you use purple in an inauguration to give a presidential feel to everything.
No Illini players were taken in the 2020 NFL draft.
How about 2019?
They came from Sports Illustrated.
2017, 2016.
Maybe BetTQ declares for the NFL draft from the University of Illinois. He's a defensive end linebacker, Olawalu BetTQ. That's him. Let me see. Let me read this article let me see, are there any players going into the draft this year? For the third time in the last 6 years, the Illinois football program. This is from Champaign, Illinois. This is from April 25th, 2020. And this is from a fine writer, Matthew Stevens, all right? The top of the lead story is no Illini players taken in 2020 NFL draft. Let's read the first paragraph. Champaign, Illinois, that's a byline. For the third time in the last 6 years, the Illinois football program did not have a player drafted into the National Football League. And this is the reason why Lovie Smith is no longer coaching at the University of Illinois, because he cannot win the living room. He cannot win the living room. He can't draw these guys. And if you can't tell these guys that you're going to get them to the NFL, at least have a chance to get them to the NFL. Look, you don't have to win in the Big Ten. You don't. You could be a mid-level team in the Big Ten, but you got to get guys to the league.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners.
And obviously, Lovie wasn't getting dinners and he wasn't getting winners.
No.
And I bet we're going to bookmark. You know what? We're going to thumbnail this show. By this time next year, we're going to talk about 3 JSU players who will be in the league, who made noise.
Yeah.
In
who are going to get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Who are going to get drafted. There's going to be some JSU players under Deion Sanders that are going to get to the league. You can rest assured.
It's going to be 2 corners and probably 1 receiver.
That's what I was about to say. It's going to be corners and receivers. Because if I was a corner in high school right now, I'd be on my way to JSU. to sit up underneath Dion and that staff he put together down there. Man, please.
And Jackson State is a wonderful school, wonderful HBCU where you can get an experience you won't get anywhere else.
And they had one of the best bands out there. And look, their drum majors are probably the best in the land. JSU drum majors are ridiculous.
Shout out to Mother Pearl. Shout out to the marching band of Howard that came in, held it down at the inauguration, did
fantastic.
your thing. Those were some bad boys. Those were some bad girls. And we're gonna have to get a poet laureate on the show too. Man, that was the best poem I have ever heard. Yeah. Maybe I was just tired and maybe I'm hungry now. But it seemed like the best poem. Today seemed like one of the greatest days. It was bright and it was sunny. It was snowing and it was still sunshine. That's what kind of day today was.
It was just refreshing.
It was. Until we start talking about the Bears. So on that note, I'm going to say this. The best thing that I know that you can do, you being the listener, you being the follower, you being the person who's out there, is that you can subscribe, like, and share The Sizzle. Hottest Talk in the 219. You can find us anywhere you go, any platform. You can find us. We're there at Iron Skillet Sports. And if you need a little bit more help, you can find us at #skillet_sports. So look, all you have to do, like, subscribe, share. We're there for you because we are the Sizzle we can.
And we do.
And remember, purple is the color of winners.
And we'll come and speak Ebonics at your next program. We will. We'll come.
He's Jay Sizzle. I'm G Sizzle. And for the Sizzle, we will see you on the other side.
Scaredy cat.